19 minutes after 7 o'clock. Good morning. Nice looking Monday morning. It is June 29th, 2015. You're listening to The Source, WOCA, broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall, where it is 75 degrees. Temperature's only climbing into the lower 80s today. Is that right? That can't be right. Something's wrong with that. Good morning, Robin. How are you?
Good. How are you, Larry?
Is that right? The lower 80s. That doesn't make sense. Tomorrow 90. Today, the lower 80s. Well, it does say there's thunderstorms today.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why. So thunderstorms today. Get your umbrella out. Doesn't look bad right now.
No, it looks beautiful.
It's the routine, isn't it? Go do those things outdoors in the morning.
Yeah.
Go do those things indoors in the afternoon. Let's see. We've got a good show this morning. 7:35. A couple things. It's Monday, so we try to talk about some serious stuff. Mm-hmm. The Greek banks are shut until July 6th in the nation of Greece.
Oh my gosh!
And ATM is limiting 60 euros per day. What's that, like $60? I guess I
think so. Yeah.
60. Wow. And then Puerto Rico's governor says that the debts are not payable in that island territory of the United States. Their debts are not payable. Money problems in the world.
Oh, sure. The government will bail it out.
And so those are some of the things, as well as some of the other talking points. Plus, I had this public service announcement that I wanted to tell you about. That just hearing the public. I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to read you what it says. And we're not airing it. Not that we wouldn't. It's just something that came across on my email, and I thought, well, this is an interesting one. Let me use it as kind of like a news piece, so I'll tell you about it.
Okay.
I'm leaving it mysterious, not to make it mysterious, but because if I start to tell you about it, I'm going to dwell on it.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of hard to talk about it because it's not. I mean, it's. Oh yeah. The more I talk, the worse it gets. Just don't worry about it. We'll talk about it at the other side of the. But we don't have a guest, right?
Right.
7:35.
Right.
Good.
No guests today.
8:30. We have guests today, but not.
Yeah, but not at 7:35.
8:35 is when we turn off our opinion and we turn off the silly, if we've had any at that point, and we simply read the news to you. Medical reporter Bern Paresa will be in. I heard her mom was not doing well, so I hope she's okay. I don't know. Haven't kept up with her. Bern is originally from the Philippines.
Yeah, that's where her mom is.
And I watched this video. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So maybe she went home. I don't know. But anyway, so I was watching this video, Papa Jesus. Did you see this video, Papa Jesus?
No, I did not.
It's a small video, and it's a kind of a touching thing. But it's made in the Philippines, so it's in the Filipino language. I'll have to find it, and if Bern comes in, it's a story, real short film story, nicely made about this young boy. Child boy, eating breakfast with his mom. I think it's breakfast, and there's a burglar hiding out in their pantry in their cupboard.
Oh my!
And like a walk-in cupboard, I guess.
Yeah, pantry.
And the mother says to the boy, "Go get the ketchup." He says, "No, I'm afraid." And don't be afraid. Papa Jesus will be in there with you. So then he gets up and he goes to the cupboard, and there's the thief, waiting in there, and the boy, instead of being afraid, says, "Can I have the ketchup, Papa Jesus?" And so he gives the ketchup to the little boy. Then he goes back and he says, "Papa Jesus gave it to me." And the mother says, "Oh, that's nice." and then the guy runs away, and the mother never sees the guy, but the child sees the boy running past the window. And he goes, "Hey, there's Papa Jesus, Mama." and then I guess the whole point of the film is that. This guy who was, in a life of crime, it looked like he was stealing food, is what it looked like. And he changes his ways. Is what you get the feeling he changes his ways because of this misidentification. It's kind of a cool little video. And so I was going to share it with Bern. Anyway, let me tell you the rest of the morning. 9:20, Mike Lavender is coming on. He is talking about the federal government renewable fuel standard and the far-reaching effects that the ethanol mandate is having on the environment.
Yep, it's that word again, mandate.
Ethanol mandate, yes.
Mandate.
I used to be a mandate. Dr. Martin B. Goldstein at 9:35. He's a neuropsychiatrist, and he wants to tell you what to do to retire successfly, navigating psychological hurdles. Psychological hurdles.
And financial.
I know. But see, that's an easy one to get my head around.
Yeah, psychological
hurdles. Do I have any of those?
I don't think so.
What they ask him? How do we know?
Well, you're going to work till the day you die, so you.
I don't have a psychological hurdle because I'm not retiring. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. That's what it is. So it doesn't pertain to you.
I don't have any psychological retirement problems. Auto repair with personal care. Matt will be here. Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive. And yeah, I think he will be here. He said he wasn't going to. He was going out of town, but he would be back by today. Anyway, I have the signs. I don't usually prepare topics for Matt because it's his show, but I found an article. The 8 signs that your car belongs in a scrap heap. The 8 signs that your car belongs in a scrap heap. Jeffrey Marshall at 10:35. He's a retired journalist, an award-winning journalist.
Wonder if he has any psychological issues.
Yeah, really. He's written a book called Little Miss Sure Shot, Annie Oakley's World.
Yeah, cool book.
Looking forward to that.
Cool
Tom
book.
Grano is a veteran. He served in the U.S. Navy for 14 years, and he's written a book called The Devil in Modern Eden. So we'll talk about his book, and we'll talk about his career, and he's also a financial specialist. So he can help us with our money, too. He should go to help out the folks in Greece. They need some help over there.
That's right.
Fun with Joe. This is the 4th of July week.
Yep.
And on Fun with Joe, I wanted to look back in American history. So I had the American, what did I call it again? I called it the American History Train.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's a train of thought. An American
Excellent.
History Train. And then when Galen is on later on, I have some interesting facts about America, some unusual statistics about life here in modern America that I thought Galen would have a good time answering. Today is Galen Unal's birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday,
So
Galen.
be sure to call in and wish him a happy birthday.
Yeah.
All right, elsewhere, this story was good news, not for the guy who got killed, but it was good news for the rest of us because the 2 guys who escaped the prison in upstate New York are no longer on the run. One of them is dead and the other one is caught.
Good.
Authorities caught David Sweat yesterday, just a couple of miles from the Canadian border. He was shot twice and is in critical condition.
Good.
At a hospital in Albany, New York. His partner, Richard Matt, was shot and killed on Friday. Mm-hmm. More than 1,300 law enforcement officers took part in the search and for the convicted killers who escaped from the Clinton Correctional Facility.
Yep, they ought to send all the financial bills to that woman that helped them escape. She should pay for it all.
You probably don't know the name Chris Squire, I'm guessing, right?
I do not.
Well, he was a bass player for the band Yes, and he died over the weekend.
Oh.
He played on every single album that Yes ever produced over the last 50 years. Just as a musical person and a fan of Yes, the group Yes, the bass part in that group, which was his doing, was so unique and so signature-like. You know, you would hear you could, if Chris Squire played on somebody else's record, you would say, "Oh, that's got to be Chris Squire. That's got to be the bass player from Yes." That's how. A bass player can be either basic, bass chord, bass note, and alternate bass note, or it can be something more melodic, like Paul McCartney is famous for. But Chris Squire, the lesser-known bass player name, was absolutely fabulous, and he died. It says here, he died Saturday in Phoenix. He was battling leukemia.
Wow. Gosh. Wow. Well, I'm sure he's looking down and he's hearing your commentary.
John Anderson is the in much of the Yes years, especially the biggest Yes years. John Anderson was the singer for Yes, and recently he teamed up with Jean-Luc Ponty. I don't know if you know who that is. That's the violinist.
Oh yeah, I know him.
And
I don't know him.
And I actually did you know how they do Kickstarter campaigns to raise money for themselves?
Yeah.
So you would think that these guys wouldn't need to raise money.
Exactly.
But look at this story about Neil Young. He teamed up with Donald Trump. Of course, he got mad at Donald Trump because Donald Trump used his song.
Yeah.
Right? But he literally went to Donald Trump for financial help. Neil Young. You would think these people, John Anderson, Neil Young, you guys have sold a gazillion records.
Exactly.
And you still need some help. So anyway, I helped out John Anderson with $10.
Oh, well, good for you.
Oh, a long time ago. It was a Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
And he was putting an album together with Jean-Luc Ponty. and for $10 you would get the album when it was done. And I just got an email the other day that it was done. So
Really?
I'll be getting their CD in the mail, I
Nice.
guess. I haven't heard them in a long time.
That's excellent.
Gosh, just other news as well. The International Space Station will have to wait a little bit longer. The rocket exploded, SpaceX. This was here in Florida, right?
Yes.
This was in Cape Canaveral. It wasn't clear what caused the rocket to fail, but SpaceX will conduct an investigation overseen by the Federal Aviation Administration to try to figure it out. They say the astronauts up in the space station, however, have plenty of food and water, so they're not in any harm.
Yeah, Russia will take care of them with our dollars.
Well, their rocket blew up too, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, we'll take a little break and be right back, and then I want to tell you about that public service announcement, plus we'll talk about Greece closing their banks, Puerto Rico not being able to pay their bills. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Steve Rappaport. New York prosecutors plan to charge captured convicted killer David Sweat with escape, burglary, and other counts if he survives.
He was subdued after a state trooper fired shots as Sweat tried to escape into the woods.
Hitting Sweat twice in the torso. Local EMS team responded.
That's State Police Superintendent Joe D'Amico. The arrest comes 2 days after Richard Matt was shot and killed in a confrontation with police.
Fox Radio's Gernal Scott. Gas prices pull a U-turn.
For 9 weeks, prices had been rising, but in the past 2 weeks, they finally slipped by 2 cents per gallon, and the new average is $2.85.
Industry analyst Trilby Lundberg. Brother versus brother down the home stretch.
Kyle Busch wins at Sonoma, and for the first time in Sprint Cup history, the Busch brothers finish 1-2.
The call on Fox Sports, the younger Busch nabbing his first checkered flag of the season. Fox News.